Hello guys, welcome back to TechDose, and in this video we will see the scramble string problem. This is from LeetCode number 87, and in this problem we will be seeing three techniques which will be recursion, memoization as well as the optimized DP. So I will be showing you the explanation along with the code for all these three techniques. Now the prerequisite for solving this problem is to watch my videos on MCM lectures. So there will be 4 to 5 videos on that. So please do watch that and then come back and see this video. Now let us just get started with this problem. In this problem we can scramble a string s to get a string t using the following algorithm. The first step is if the length of the string is 1, then we will stop. Otherwise, if the length of the string is greater than 1, then we will do the following. We are given 3 steps. The first one is that split the string into 2 non-empty substrings at a random index. That is, if the string is s, then we can divide s into x and y so that we can combine xy to form s. Okay, now randomly decide to swap the 2 strings or to keep them in the same order. That means if we are given string x, then we can form xy, or we can also just flip the string from the division point and we can form yx as well. This is the flipped version. Okay, now s may become s equals to x plus y or s equals to y plus x. I will explain all these steps in the explanation part. Third step is to apply step 1 recursively on each of the 2 substrings x and y. Given 2 strings s1 and s2 of the same length, return true if s2 is the scrambled string of s1. Otherwise we will return false. Okay. Now let us look at an example in order to get a better understanding. What is a scrambled string? The definition is if we are given a string xy, then we can split the string xy in between and then we will be getting x and y. Now if we divide it in between, then we will get x as well as we will get y, and now we can merge it in any order. If we merge it like x will come first and then y, then we will form xy. Otherwise, if we merge saying that y will come first, then the string will be yx. Okay, so at any given split point there will be 2 possible choices. We can have the same string in the same order xy, or we can just flip the order. Okay, so we can just form yx as well. Therefore, in this case, if we are having string length, let's say equals to n, then we can have total of n minus 1 partition points where we can apply the partition. Now in this case, let's assume that we are given the string grade. So you can see that we can apply partition at this point between g and r. So if we partition between this point, then the 2 possible strings x will be g and y will be r, e, a, t, right? And now we can combine them in any order. Like if we combine them in the same order where x will come first, then the string after combination will be great itself. Okay. Otherwise, if y will come first, we decide that y will come first, then the string will be r, e, a, t and then g. Okay. So it depends on which order we are choosing while merging, and there are total of n minus 1 possible partition points. We can partition between g, r, we can partition between r, e and so on. Okay, so I hope you got the idea about these partition points. So let's choose a single partition point and see how this is done. If we are taking the same string grade and now we are partitioning between e and a, then on the left hand side you have the substring gre and on the right hand side you have at. Now again in gre it is of length 3, so we will have total of 2 partition points between gr and between re. Now let's assume that we are partitioning between re. Then again we will have gr on the left hand side, e on the right hand side. For gr we will have only a single partition point because it is of length 2. Okay. So like this we can partition until we get the string of length 1, which is a single character, and then we will start merging them. So in this case, let's assume that we are at this point a and t. Now we can merge this a and t so that it will form at, or it can also form ta. Okay, so we will have to try out both these possibilities and see when we keep building up the order, then we will have to again form string s2, right? So if we are given string s1 and we want to convert it to string s2 by this scramble algorithm, then we will partition at all possible partition points until we reach to the leaf nodes, which is of length 1, which is just a single character, and then we will keep building up the order. We will have 2 possible buildings, like if we are given string x and y, then we can merge them into xy or we can merge them into yx. Okay, so we will have to try both these possibilities. Now scramble rule is applied recursively as it was mentioned in the question, and you can see that in this diagram we had partitioned it between E and A. Again we partitioned between R and E, and the scramble rule will go on, like whatever rule has been mentioned will be true for all the substrings. Okay. So I hope you understood what the scramble string really is. So in this problem, we are given two strings S1 and S2 of the same length, and our goal is to find if S2 is a scramble string of S1. Now one example is if S1 is great and S2 is RGEAT, then is it possible to apply the previous algorithm, okay, like partitioning between two characters and then rearranging them? Either we will arrange in the same order or we will just flip the order. Okay. So is it possible by applying these operations to convert S1 to S2? Or we can also say that we want to convert S2 to S1. It all depends on ourselves. So in this problem, we will try to convert S1 to S2. So if it is possible to convert S1 to S2 using the previous scramble string algorithm, then S1 will be a scramble string of S2. Or you can say S2 is a scramble string of S1, right? So in this case, I will show you the possible partition. Like we can partition between R and E, and then on the left hand side we will have GR, on the right hand side we will have EAT. Now again, GR can be partitioned into G and R. Now what we will do is we will build up the order. We have this as X and we have this as Y. Now we will form YX. So if we form YX, then our answer will be RG in this case. Okay. And now when we are at this level 1 of this tree, this is level 0, that is, let's say this is depth 0, this is depth 1, and this is depth 2. So if we are at depth 1 and this is RG, when we are moving up the order, up the tree, okay, and at this point we have EAT, then if we build up the order, this is string X and this is string Y. Now if we form XY, then our string will be RGEAT. And this is the same as this string S2, right? So in this case, we started with string S1. We just partitioned for all the possibilities, and then we tried to build up the order and we got string S2. So if there is at least one such partition sequence so that S1 can be converted to S2, then we will say that both of them are scramble strings of each other. So in this case, we will return true, saying that S1 is a scramble string of S2. So at any point you can see that we have two options. So what we can do is at any point we can divide a string into X and Y into two substrings. S can be divided into X and Y, two substrings. Now again, when we are moving up the call, like when we are making the tree call, you can assume it like a tree call. So when we are moving up the tree, then we will have to merge them together, merge the two substrings, and we can merge them in two possible ways. Okay. So the observations in this case are single characters which are equal will always be scrambled. It was mentioned in the question as well. So if S1 is A and S2 is A, then we will compare if the single strings are equal. That means the single characters are equal. If they are the same, then we will return the answer as true. Now the number of partition points in this case will be length of string minus 1, which I already showed you. And the third point is we need to try partitioning at all possible partition points and see if any partition combination of S1 results into S2, like I have shown in the previous example. Now we have two combinations for any partition, and recursion tree will be a binary tree structure since a string is divided into two parts. Okay, so if there is a string S, then it will be divided into X and Y. And now when we have XY, then we can merge them together. If we merge them in the same order, then we will again get XY, or if we merge them in the flipped order, like Y will come before X, then we will get YX. Okay, so I hope you are able to understand the observations. Now let us look at an example. If we take this string great, and if we divide it between G and R, there are many possible partition points. This is of length 5, so there will be 4 possible partition points between G and R, between R and E, between E and A, and between A and T. Let's assume that we will divide between G and R. We will get G, which is X on the left hand side, and this is Y for level 1. Okay, this is for L1. Now again, REAT can be divided into 3 possible partition points because this is of length 4. Let's assume that we are dividing between R and E. So this is level 2. and at level 2 this is X and this is Y. Now again EAT can be divided at two possible partition points, but we will assume that we will be dividing between E and A. So if we do that, then this is X and this is Y. This is at level 3. And again AT can be divided in the same way. This is X, this is Y, and this is level 4. Okay, level is nothing but the depth, and this is depth equals to 0. So once we keep dividing it and we will reach the leaf nodes, then we will start merging them together and we will move up the tree. So now A and T can be merged together. Now we will have two possibilities. Either we can form AT or we can form TA. This AT is from XY and this TA will be from YX. Okay. So there will be two possible paths. Right. So we will have to try all these possibilities. Now again you can see that for this EAT, again we can divide between A and T, right? So for each of the internal nodes, if the internal node is of length n, then we will have n minus 1 possible partition points, right? So there will be those many number of trees possible. So I have just drawn a single tree. You can see that if you divide between R and E, you will have to leave this point and again it will form a different tree structure, right? So we have n minus 1 possible partition points and we need to try all possible combinations unless we form S1 from S2, right? Or you can say unless we form S2 from S1. Now I hope you were able to understand this recursion tree diagram. Now what are the possible combinations in this case? Let's assume that we are given string S1 and S2. Now S1 can be divided into two parts. Let's assume that we are dividing it like this between B and C. So on the left hand side we will assume that it is X and on the right hand side we will assume that it is Y. Now for string S2 as well, we can divide it into two parts. Okay, we can divide it in the same order, like the length of the string should be same as it was mentioned in the question, like the length of the given two strings will be same. So we will be dividing at the same position. So we will try to divide it between C and D in this case, because the length on the left and the right should be same. Okay, so if we do it like this, then AB will be compared against BC and CDEF will be compared against DAEF. Right? So if X is equals to X dash, that is if X and X dash are scramble strings and Y and Y dash are scramble strings, then they both combined together will also be a scramble string. Okay. Now one other possibility can be like you are dividing at this point. Okay. So instead of dividing at this point, we can also have a flipped order. So if this is X dash and this is Y dash, then what we can have is we can take the last two characters as X dash and we can take the rest of the characters on the left hand side as Y dash, because flipping is allowed. Okay. So if we do in this order, then the last two characters will be matched with the first two characters, that is X with this one. So this is assumed as P dash and Y will be matched against Q dash. So if X and P dash are scramble strings and Y and Q dash are scramble strings, then they both combined together will definitely be a scramble string. Okay. So if a given string S is partitioned into S1 and S2, and if S1 is a scramble string and if S2 is also a scramble string, then obviously combining both of them together will also be a scramble string. Just think about it. It is very logical and very simple to understand. Now the partition problem in this case is the same as in the MCM problem. The problem in MCM was to find the minimum number of multiplication operations to multiply the given matrices. So if our matrix is ABCD, then we will have all these as the possible partition points. So if we are having n number of matrices, then there will be n minus 1 number of possible partition points. In this case as well, if the string length was equals to n, then we will have n minus 1 number of partition points, right? So both of them are same. And in the MCM problem also, we were trying all possible partition points, right? And we were trying all possible combinations. In this case as well, we will be trying for all possible partition points and we will be trying for all the possibilities and see if S2 can be formed from S1 using the rules of the scramble string. Okay. Now in MCM, we found the minimum multiplication operations and here we need to just try two possible combinations to convert S1 to S2. Okay. Therefore, only the operation part will differ, but the recursion call structure will be same. So if you know MCM already and how to write the code for MCM, then it should be very simple to write the code for scramble string as well. So first we will see how to write the code using recursion, and then we will optimize it. So let us now look at the code. Now this is the recursion code. Okay, so in this case we are given string s1 and s2. I have found the length of the string because both of them will be having the same length according to question, and I have called this solve function. So in this function we will be passing the two strings s1 and s2. Now it will check if s1 length is equals to 1. So if s1 length is 1, then s1 should be equals to s2 according to the problem statement. I have also given this in observation part. Otherwise what you can do is you can also check if s1 is equals to s2. So you can combine both these steps into basically one step. They both are nothing but the same. You don't need to do it explicitly. Okay. So if the two strings are same, then obviously they will be scrambled strings. You will not partition it. Now what we will do is, let's assume that we are having string ABC and another string is CBA. Then we will try all possible partition points. Like we will partition at this point. We will also partition at this point. Okay. We will try all possible partition points and we will use the same rule of partition. Like we will match x with x dash and y with y dash. And also I had shown you that we will be matching x with p dash and this y with q dash. Okay, so these two will be matched. If x is equals to x dash and y equals to y dash, then it will be a scramble string. Otherwise, if x is equals to p dash and y equals to q dash, then also it will be a scramble string. This second case was for the flipped case. You can flip the string. Okay, so if you are given string xy, then you can also form string yx by splitting them into halves and then merging them in a order that y will come first and then x will come, right? And this is the no flip case. So we will try both these possibilities. So I hope this code is also self-explanatory. If we are able to find that at least x is equals to x dash and y equals to y dash, or x equals to p dash and y equals to q dash, then we will return true, saying that s1 is a scramble string of s2. Otherwise, we will return false after trying out all the possibilities. So how do we optimize this code? Now in this problem, you can see that this is an exponential time complexity problem. So we are trying basically all the possibilities. So once we have solved a sub problem, we should not try to solve it again. If you are not understanding about the sub problem and the optimal substructure part, then I would recommend you to watch my MCM video. There I have explained everything in detail. Now in order to optimize the time complexity, we should store the already formed results for the sub problems, right? So how do we find out what are the sub problems? Now in this case, the sub problems are nothing but this s1 and s2. These are the two substrings which are matched in each of the recursion call, and this solve is nothing but the recursive function. So we can just combine s1 with s2 and we can call it a key. Okay, we can also put a star in between so that this will always be unique, right? So we can form a key like this. So this will be defined as a subproblem, unique subproblem. Once we have formed a subproblem, that is found a solution to the subproblem, then we will store it somewhere. So we can use a map. This is very common. So it will be having key as well as value pair. So key will be storing s1 star s2. Okay, this will be s1 star s2, and this value will be storing the answer, right? If it is a scramble string or it isn't a scramble string. So this will be a Boolean type. And now when we are forming a key and we can see that it is present in map, then obviously it is already calculated and we will see and return the result. Otherwise, we will have to calculate the answer for this subproblem, and again while returning back we will be storing it into the map. So let us look at the code of how to optimize this problem. Now in this code you can see that it is exactly the same as the recursive code, but what we are doing is, in this case we are forming this key which is s1 plus s2. This s1 plus s2 might not give a unique subproblem, so we can put star in between of s1 and s2. Okay, so we will find it in the map. So if it is present in map, then we will return the result without doing these calculations unnecessarily. Okay, otherwise if it is not present, then we will do all the calculations, and while returning we will store it into the map so that the map gets updated, and the next time when this subproblem comes, then we don't have to repeat it, right? So this is the approach for memoization. Now there is another better approach. We can improve this memoization code as well. So how do we do that? There is a very important observation for doing this. In this case, what we can do is S1 is a scramble string of S2 only if both have all the character frequencies as same. Okay. So if you are having string S1 and S2, you can see that it is EAT and this is AET. Now frequency of S1 is equals to frequency of S2. That is, frequency of all the characters in S1 is the same as all the characters in S2. E is occurring one time, here also E is occurring one time. A is occurring one time, here also A is occurring one time. T is occurring one time, here also T is occurring one time. So all the characters, all the unique characters should be having the same frequency. Otherwise, it will never be a scramble string. Just think about it. Okay. And in the second example, S1 is having 2 E's, but in S2 it is having just a 1 E, right? So this can never become a scramble string. You can try any order, but this will never become a scramble string, right? So a very important observation here is the frequency of the characters should be equal. All the unique characters should be having same frequency, and then only we can check for whether they are scramble strings or not. Okay. So we can apply this as well, and we can prune the unnecessary calls. So in this case, this is nothing but the memoization plus pruning. Pruning is nothing but removing the unnecessary recursion calls. So this is our recursive call, which is solve. This is the same code as we were using in the memoization part, but the only difference is this part. Okay, this is the only difference. Here what we are doing is, when we are given a subproblem, substring S1 and substring S2, then we are taking an array of size 26 because we know that the characters will be from small a to small z, and now we will take two vectors f1 f2 and we will count the frequency of all the characters. Once we have counted, we will just match if vector f1 is equals to vector f2. That means all the frequencies of all the corresponding characters are same or not. If they are not equal, then we will return false, and just before returning we will obviously update our map, which is nothing but the memoization array, right? So this is the only difference. Now this memoization plus pruning is having the same time complexity as the memoization code. So what is different here? Actually, the worst case time of both of them are same, but the test cases which are given will be uniformly distributed. Okay, so they will not be of the same type. They will not force worst case in each and every time. So what happens is, in the recursion call, in some of the internal nodes, when you are making the recursion call, then the frequency of f1 will not be equals to frequency of f2. So you are just traversing the entire string only once, and you are finding out what is the frequency of both of the strings, and you are comparing them. So all the recursion calls which are lying below it are avoided. Okay, so all these recursion calls are avoided, and it will highly improve your time complexity, right? So this is the idea. The worst case time for both of them are same, but since the test cases are uniformly distributed, the time complexity which you get in this case will be much lower than the one using just memoization and not this pruning part. So what is the overall time complexity in this case? The time complexity is the same as MCM, which is order of n cube. And if you have watched my MCM video, then I hope you will understand this pretty easily. I hope you are able to understand this entire lecture. If you have any problem, then do comment below and I'll try to help you as soon as possible. Please like and share our video and subscribe to our channel in order to watch more of these programming videos. See you in our next video. Thank you.